everyone. If you were to ask anybody, could you name a famous comic character, you'd probably hear stuff like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. But for those of you who don't really know superheroes, you're more likely to say Archie. Yeah, for somehow, some way, Archie has been around for 77 years and had nearly 700 comics in the single Archie line, not including the dozens upon dozens of spin-offs, one-shots, tie-ins, crossovers. This guy has somehow survived longer than some people live. I never really understood why. Archie was never really my thing. What was my thing, though, was the Predator franchise. Trust me, if you don't know where this is going, it'll all make sense in a second. And, like any good franchise, Predator has a ton of comics, starting back in 1989 with what was known as Predator Concrete Jungle. Interestingly, this was not a comic that was based off the first movie, it was actually a sort of spiritual successor. There has been no movie adaptation of the original Predator. My guess is, copyright claims and stuff, but yeah. So on the one hand, we have Archie, known for wholesome teenage drama, just goofy hijinks and harmless fun. On the other hand, we have Predator, the intergalactic alien that skins people alive and takes their skulls and spines as trophies. Let's put them together. No, I am not joking. But what's it about? Well, it's a pretty simple story. Archie and his friends go on vacation because potato chips, literally, they win a vacation for 12 people. There's some relationship drama, typical Archie stuff, and then a predator shows up and starts killing everybody. Oh, and I mean everybody. This comic's a few years old, so I'm going to spoil quite a lot. So let's start with the good stuff about it. First of all, the artwork is beautiful. It is very much done in the traditional Archie style, including some of the more action-oriented scenes surprisingly work well with the very cartoonish Archie style. It also is a comic that is not afraid to essentially be a bit gruesome and twisted, as everybody aside from Betty and Veronica die in this comic. Seriously, you get to watch all your favorite Riverdale folks get torn apart, decapitated, blown up, shot, mutilated, skinned alive. It is crazy, and it's honestly great. Something else that's fantastic about the comic is the pacing. The first issue, sadly, does not have a lot of Predator action. We only ever see the Predator in, I believe, one or two panels, one panel fully, and all we really see him do is having killed two people. Granted, it was Cheryl and Jason Blossom, so I was totally okay with that, and it was really gruesome. I am surprised how gruesome this comic gets. So, what's bad about it? Very little. Keep in mind, none of this comic is in continuity, none of it matters until we talk about the sequel. The one real issue I have is the Predator himself. Now, when the Predator is drawn with his helmet on and kind of looking, helmet on, armor and all that, he looks great. Sure, the dreadlocks seem a little bit short, but for the most part, it looks like a somewhat cartoonish but overall really, really well-drawn Predator. It's when the mask comes off that I'm a little confused about some things. I think maybe it has to do with the fact that the Predators have always had such great detail given to their facial structure and all the stuff surrounding it, that seeing them rather smooth and with very short mandibles just doesn't look right. Then again, though, this is said to be a younger Predator, so that probably explains a few things. Furthermore, there's kind of this whole thing set up with this weird dagger that shows up that can't be broken and apparently has some sort of curse pertaining to the Predator. Is that the Predator's weapon and that's why he's after them, because he stole it from him? They never really say. There's a couple small things like that make me question, wait, what's going on? But then I have to remember, this is Archie versus Predator. Don't think too hard about it. Overall, though, I adore Archie vs. Predator. I own 12 copies of the first issue that were all the different variants, and I've got them signed by the... And I've got them all signed by the artist Fernando Ruiz. I am definitely mispronouncing that, and I am sorry. But even if you just pick up the graphic novel or the collection, you definitely have to read Archie vs. Predator. This is one of the weirdest crossovers to ever happen in comics, and that is saying a lot. But it works surprisingly well. Seriously, if you're a fan of Archie or if you're a fan of Predator, pick it up. You will not regret it. See you next time, Dino Dudes.